go ahead and start. I'll give you your 15. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the West Sacramento Area Flood Control Agency annual meeting, monthly meeting, October 21, 2021. And pursuant to the Government Code Section 45953, as amended by Assembly Bill 361 in 2021, and due to the state of emergency declared by the Governor on March 4th, 2020, members of WSAFCA board and staff will participate in this meeting via teleconference to reduce the spread of COVID-19. Members of the public may watch the meeting via live stream, and those members who wish so are invited to participate in the meeting via Zoom using the following information that was posted. Materials related to the agenda are available for review and download. Members of the board 72 hours prior. So welcome everyone, and let's start with roll call.
Georgia Ledesma.
I am here. I can't get my mute button, but I'm here.
Terry.
Here.
Okay, and Norma Alcala is absent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. On to our agenda. The first item, 1A, is presentation by the public of matters not on the agenda. Have we had any comments posted from the public?
No, we have not, and I invite anyone that's participating right now, if they would like to, they can do so.
Seeing nobody raise their hand, we'll move on. And item 1B is report out on the closed session.
Good morning. The board met in closed session at 8:30 this morning on the 3 matters noted on the closed session agenda and took no reportable action.
Thank you. Item 1C, monthly and year-to-date revenue and expense report.
Good morning, board members and staff. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
Okay, I'll be reporting out on the revenue and expenditures for August 2021. In our O&M Fund 870, the beginning balance was approximately $6.04 million. There was no revenue. Expenditures were $26,000, making the ending position for Fund 870 $6.01 million. In our CIP Fund 871, the beginning balance was approximately $5.1 million. There's also no revenue, and expenditures totaled $219,000, making the ending position at $4.88 million. At the end of the month, the combined cash position with the advance fund was $10.92 million. As of October 12th, the agency's combined cash position was approximately $9.7 million. And so when I ran the reports, finance was in the process of closing out fiscal 2021. And since then, finance has closed the books for the past fiscal year. In that time, quarter 38 was trued up, and approximately $1.2 million was transferred from our advanced fund 257 to our CIP fund 871. An additional $841,000 was also transferred to 871 from 267. This amount was due to accrued interest earned in an account. And so with that $2 million, Fund 257 is almost flipped out. And we are still waiting for the payment letter for quarter 40. And so once I rerun the numbers and reports, I should have a more accurate number for fiscal year end at our next meeting. And with that, I summarize my report. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Questions from the board?
No question.
Hearing none.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jen, and look forward to the finalized annual report next month.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, onto the consent agenda. There are three 4 items on the consent agenda. Consideration of a professional services contract with ESA, contract amendment with WSP, consideration of necessary to conducting West Sacramento flood control meetings via teleconference. This is the Assembly Bill 361 adoption, and then consideration of approval of our September 16th, 2021 meeting minutes. Are there any questions or comments on those? If not, I would entertain a motion to move the consent agenda.
I will move the recommended action.
Thank you. And I will second that motion. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Director Ledesma,
Aye.
Chair Ramos,
Aye.
motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. On to our regular agenda, and item 6A is the WASAFCA project updates.
Good morning, Chair Ramos and Director Ledesma. I have a few updates for just to highlight of what's kind of been going on. We did receive a $116,000, $797 check of the $1 million claim we submitted to the Seattle Bankruptcy Court. This is for the Time Oil Remediation Project. You may recall, so it's not completely settled, but that's probably the bulk of the money that we're going to receive from that. And who knew what was going to happen? So at least we got recovered some costs for some attorney fees. Moving on to the federal projects in terms of the East Bypass project, we're anticipating a lot of things moving forward this month. The Corps is tentatively scheduled to complete all reviews by the end of the month. Then we're going to launch into a public review period for the month of November, during which time we anticipate there will be a virtual public meeting. We'll keep the board apprised of when that will occur because it may occur close to the next board meeting. So we'll keep you apprised through other methods. Let's see what else. The Central Valley Flood Protection Board will take it to their board as an informational item in December. We anticipate that we'll be taking the environmental document for your consideration also in December, along with the local partnership, project partnership agreement. So that's the anticipated schedule at this time. We just received updated construction documents from MGE. The board may recall that the Corps requested that we go back to MGA, the designer of the Yebo project, to split the project into two in conformity with the way that the GRR was set up. That design will have to go through its own review, on the two segments to make sure everything was properly incorporated and split up. And then we're hoping that once appropriation bills are passed, that the Corps of Engineers will be able to advertise for one of those reaches. So that's our anticipated schedule going forward in the next year. Lastly, we continue to monitor the status of the bipartisan infrastructure bill, as well as the reconciliation legislation. The House has set a tentative or deadline for the end of the month to try to bring this to a vote. So we're going to see what goes forward with that, but don't have a whole lot more to report at this time. We know that there's a lot of grinding going on and a lot of conversation. So that's my report for this month. Thank you.
Anything to add, Greg, or?
No, but in the spirit of optimism, there has been some discussion locally and back in DC that with the numbers being provided to the Corps with the bipartisan infrastructure bill, they're not sure that they have enough projects to spend all of that money on that is proposed to be allocated to them. So there's rumors that those projects that are ready to go could receive full funding. So not going to get my hopes too high up, but again, in the spirit of optimism, I'll I'll leave you with that notion.
So when you say full funding, you're talking about for our entire project?
Correct. And
Okay.
it remains to be seen whether that would be full federal funding, approximately $800 million, or whether it be the full cost of the project, which would be, roughly 1.2 billion. So we shall see. But I do, I anxiously await how that how that rolls out.
Okay. And I lose track of what's going on back there with all these, different bills and stuff, but this reconciliation bill also includes the 2022 budget as well. Am I saying that correctly?
I haven't heard that. I think there's parallel tracks going on. So
Okay, so it would be approved probably alongside of whatever happens with this reconciliation. Okay.
yeah, I think the biggest concern right now is, there's so much focus right now on the reconciliation bill that, there's not a lot of work happening on the appropriations process. Although we did hear that Senate Democrats have started drafting up some of the bills that have yet to be drafted. And they're going to be sharing those with House Democrats here in the coming weeks in preparation for, the end of the CR and getting stuff approved before December 3rd. So parallel tracks, but I think it's going to be an all or nothing, or we're going to be looking at another CR.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help the New Start.
No, it does not.
Okay. Looking this over, I see here Mike Connor has been nominated for Assistant Secretary of the Army. I assume that's for Civil Works. He was commissioner of the Bureau of Reclamation in the Obama administration, and we met with him several times during as far as water issues. So seemed to be pretty reasonable, competent guy. So we'll see how that goes. So anything else? Any questions, Chris, at all?
No questions from me. Thanks for the update.
Okay. All right. Well then, thank you very much. I guess our next order of business is director's comments. I have none. And if Chris, you have none, I guess we'll move to item 6C, which is adjournment. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.